everybody, how's it going? Welcome to SMG Viewers Comments episode 160. This is my weekly show where I try and answer your comments and questions about recording to the best of my ability. Let's get right to it.
Hey Glenn, do you know of any tips on how to become a session musician?
Well, the hardest thing about becoming a session musician is literally just getting your foot in the door. The best session musicians I know are not only incredible musicians, but are just awesome people, and they're easy to work with. And honestly, that's far more important than musical ability or aptitude at your instrument is being easy to work with. I know I would never make it as a session musician in a million years. And I know a lot of great guitar players who've got absolutely no chance of being session musicians. You have to have the right attitude. You have to be able to fit in on many different situations. You have to be able to change genres. I know my friend Phil X from Bon Jovi, he plays like on some pop records, he plays hard rock, he plays all kinds of stuff. He's just an awesome dude and an incredible guitar player. You have to be that guy. You have to be as good as that guy if you want to be a session player. There was a great documentary on Netflix called Sideman, I think, and it kind of goes through that whole thing. So yeah, if you want to be a session musician, yeah, just generally be awesome. And like I said, I'll never be one.
I would love to buy a Guitar is Lift shirt. Fucking awesome.
All right, dude, you know what? Ask and you shall receive. I'm going to make Guitar is Lift available for this week and this week only. It's just going to be a very short, limited run. So if you want to get a Guitar is Lift shirt, grab one now. It's only going to be up till next Friday, and then it is gone forever. Get it now.
Hey Glenn, looking to see if there's such a thing as a mic that can be used to record vocals and guitar amps for less than 50 pounds that doesn't totally suck. Anything come to mind other than me being a tightwad?
Well, you got the tightwad thing, right? That's for sure. 50 English pounds, I don't know, that's about $100 Canadian. SM57 comes to mind. It's great on guitars and will work on a pinch in vocals. The most famous use of a 57 on vocals would actually be Vincent Price's Rap during Michael Jackson's Thriller. That whole thing, they just had a 57 up on a stand and he's like, fuck it, let's do it on that. And you know, that record sold millions and millions and millions. Are there better vocal mics? Probably, but the 57 will do the trick. You can also check out the Thomann MB75. You can get that. I'll put a link in the description, and that's significantly less money. You can probably get two or maybe even three of these for the price of a 57. And it's pretty similar in tonal character. I am going to have a shootout coming up on this in the very near future.
Hey Glenn, just about to go into recording, and I was wondering what recording software, audio interface, preferably HLs, and any other things you would recommend for aspiring audio engineers / producers to begin with.
Well, if you don't want to drop a lot of money, I would recommend Reaper. It is a full-function DAW. You can do whole records on it, and it's a great way to start. I'm just starting to get my feet wet with Studio One, and I'm really digging that as well. As for interfaces, you know, the Focusrite 18i20 is great. It's 8 channels, and definitely has crap tons of capability, and has 8 mic preamps built in. If you're looking for something with a little bit better sound quality, you can check out the Audient stuff. You can get like one of the little desktop boards and then add on 8 channels here, like with an ASP880, which is just simply incredible. Definitely one of the absolute best bang for the buck 8-channel mic preamps on the market, bar none. Good luck, dude. Hope it works out for you.
I have a question for Nita. How did you go about recording V-drums with real cymbals? Was it just MIDI drums and overheads? What about the sticks hitting the pad sounds?
Hey Bart, Nita isn't on hand at the moment, but I might be able to answer this question for you because, believe it or not, I actually started out using exactly that, V-drums with real cymbals, and that was my big concern too, is like, are all those stick noises gonna make, you know, a huge difference in the tone? And the thing you gotta remember is, when you're hitting real cymbals, they are really loud. And you know, the pads don't make a lot of noise. So in terms of signal to noise ratio, the signal being your cymbal and the noise being, you know, the stick on the pad, you're talking huge differences there. So getting your cymbals up into an audible level in the mix, the stick noise on the pads will be completely buried by the other elements of your mix. And not to mention the actual sounds of the sampled drums you will be playing. So don't worry about it. Yeah, mic up a couple of cymbals on a V-drum kit. It's a good way to start if you don't know what the hell you're doing and you want to get started with drums and recording drums in one way or another. Myself, I did exactly that and then just started bringing, you know, like real toms and then a real kick and then real snare kind of thing. I built my way into it.
Gotta admit though, good programmed drums are better than shitty real drums.
Oh, I don't know. I'd rather go put on an old punk record with crap recording and, hear some fury and some anger rather than this fucking, hyper-polished bullshit we get these days.
Curious question. What are the pros and cons of active pickups versus passive pickups? What kind of genres would you play with each?
Oh man, now there are so many different opinions on this. There's no way I could answer this without pissing off someone. And I'm sure there are people who are far better educated on this particular subject than I am. Now, as far as I know, the whole reason we invented active pickups is because passive pickups, especially with stronger magnets, would interfere with the sustain of a guitar. So all an active pickup has is a weaker magnet and then an onboard preamp to boost the signal out to the amp. A smaller magnetic field means less interference with the movement of the string, meaning longer sustain. I really like both types of pickups. I mean, like, I've got an EMG 81 on a Hellraiser that just winds up on a lot of records. But then again, I've got some Seymour Duncan passives, and I've got the Fishman Fluence pickups, which are really killer as well. I dropped some into my Strat, and they're just absolutely awesome. What genres? I don't know. I mean, like, classic rock, that kind of stuff, go with, passive. But if you want to play full-on Metal Fury, you can do active. But then again, passives work great for metal as well. It really depends on you. I don't know. Now, I was rampaging about retail there last Sunday. I will say this. This is where retail is great because you can go into a guitar store and try a few different guitars out and see what works best for you and your playing style. And there's a reason why I left music shops out of that rant. That was more aimed towards big box retailers. Never really had a problem with people who work at Guitar Center. For the most part, most of those guys have been pretty cool, and I know they have to put up with an awful lot of crap.
Hey Glenn, some guy at the airport just got held up for having a pack of D'Addario guitar strings in his bag. What are your thoughts on this?
Now, I know a lot of people complain about TSA, and I'm not going to because I understand it's a very strange world we're living in these days where we have to give up a lot of rights and privacy to air travel, and that's unfortunately just the world we live in these days. The TSA agents probably saw these guitar strings and thought Garrett wire, if I pronounced that correctly. Somebody tell me if I'm wrong. Like a strangly thing. You could actually use guitar strings to strangle somebody. They're seeing that as a weapon. I'm sure the musician had no fucking clue, or it never even dawned on him that they could be used for that. But, when somebody's looking to see weapons, that's what they're going to see. So if you're gonna carry guitar strings on an aircraft, make sure it goes into your checked baggage and not into your carry-on, because yes, that will cause you grief.
Glenn, if you could magically create any piece of equipment that could handle a complicated task for you, what would it be?
I wish I just had a button that would finish my video editing for me. That way, I could churn out a whole lot more videos for you guys.
After seeing you use the drum dial, I was quite curious to see the results for myself. My college then bought one, so I took it in my snare drum, which I was struggling to tune how I wanted. However, after spending 20 minutes with the drum dial, I got an amazing sound with ease. I couldn't recommend the drum dial enough. Thank you for opening my eyes on this. I'm gonna go buy one now. Cheers from the UK.
Hey Daniel, I'm really glad that worked out for you. Yeah, I've been using a drum dial for years. I think they're fantastic. Some purists will say that they're bullshit, and that they can do better by ear, and I'll say they're right to a point. I think a drum dial is a great way to get you into the ballpark, and what I'll do is do tone tests on the lugs once I've got something tuned up with a drum dial and just fine tune it by ear. But a drum dial is absolutely a fantastic way to start, and it's a great way to learn how to tune drums. Good luck, man. I'm glad it worked out for you.
I asked my North Korean friend how life was. He said he can't complain. I feel like freedom of speech has been destroyed the last few years. You make a slightly offensive joke and your whole life can crash down around you. Fired from your job, kicked out of college, death threats from social justice warriors, blackmailed, and so on. It needs to stop.
Wow, did you ever hit the nail on the head? Yeah, I've always had this philosophy. You either support free expression or you don't, period. People should have the right to say unpleasant things. I mean, I don't have to like what somebody else says, but that doesn't give me the right to stop them from saying that. If somebody wants to say something horrible, let them. It's not gonna cause any damage in the grand scheme of things. That being said, I mean, like, nobody should have their life destroyed for a slightly off-color comment, that somebody fucking overreacts to. I think the whole ganging up on people shit really sucks as well. I did that thing a couple weeks ago when we were talking the whole Pussy Melter controversy and whatnot, and I pointed out, the band's video and all that kind of shit, and that's fine because that's up there for public comment. But I think when people went after the singer from Braids personally and started doxing her band and giving her death threats, I thought that was absolute fucking horseshit. Sure, call somebody out for an opinion you don't agree with. That's fine. That's absolutely fine, especially when they're making public commentary. That's fine too. But don't fucking make death threats. Doesn't matter what side of the political spectrum you're on, it's just awful. But yes, up with free speech, down with censorship, and know your feelings are not more important than somebody's right to free expression.
Hey Glenn, question. If you get a singer with a great attitude who performs with great emotion and energy and works their butt off, but needs a little help in the tuning department, potentially through no fault of their own, do you send them packing and tell them that you can't help them? I come from a place needing work to make my studio sustainable, and it seems to me that I can make a thoroughly enjoyable song even if tuning is required, then I should do it. If for no other reason than the joy of someone might get out of it and listening to it sometime. Are you 100% on no tuning ever? Even if it would bring temporary happiness to someone's life, however artificial it may be. Thanks for all your awesome and entertaining content.
Hey Jason, here's the thing. If the guy has awesome passion and energy and that's coming across the speakers, slightly flawed tuning should stay, in my opinion. I mean, go listen to all the incredible records that came out in the 70s and the 80s with none of that auto-tune crap. And you know what? They're far from perfect, but they have such great, raw, emotional energy. My point is when you start to alter that tuning and what, you're destroying what made those performances great. You know what? I haven't had auto-tune in my studio in over 10 years, and I have not missed it one bit. Here's the thing, if somebody's got some tuning issues and whatnot, keep an acoustic guitar on hand and help them with the melodies and give them something to sing along to. Work out what the vocal melody is, cut that in a particular spot, have them sing to that bit. If you watch Year and a Half of the Life of Metallica, when they're doing the Black Album, they're doing, all the bits for the Enter Sandman vocals. That's exactly what Bob Rock did. It's a fantastic method, great way to work, and you're not gonna destroy a singer's passion by editing it into some artificial bullshit. Good luck, dude.
Drum samples? Ha! Yeah, if everyone did that, we'd have only 3 snares to throw in all albums.
Daniel, my man, you just described modern mellow production. Way to go. All right, everybody, that's it for this show. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And don't forget, the Guitar is Lift shirt is only available for the next week, and then it's gone forever. Thanks again. You guys have a fantastic weekend. And oh yeah, Hasa Diga Ibuai.